We all have to eat, don't we? We eat in the morning, at lunch, and at dinner. We as humans rely on food, and some foods are produced by plants. For example, apples, beans, pumpkins, lettuce, plums. Well, you know where I'm going with this. But what do these plants have in common? Sure, they rely on humans to water and to tend to them, but they mostly rely on the world's most natural pollinator. What's the world's most natural pollinator, you ask? Bees, of course. Without bees, how will these plants be pollinated? What will it mean for the world's food supply should our natural pollinators become extinct?
Good afternoon, viewers. I'm here today with Adrian, who's a natural beekeeper. How are you, Adrian?
I'm very well, thank you, Amanda.
Thank you for taking some time and joining me today. How do pesticides affect bees?
Yeah, well, they obviously kill bees, but when we look at the big problem that's out there today with farmers using a lot of insecticides and different pesticides to control insect attack and fungicides and funguses and all that sort of stuff, it really affects the bees. Obviously, it kills them as they approach a plant and start to take nectar and pollen from the plant, and that's usually quite toxic. So they bring that nectar and pollen back to the hive, and eventually it has a major effect on the babies, on the brood of the colony. There's a real serious insecticide that's the main culprit at the moment. Well, most of the arrows are pointing to it, and a lot of independent research has been done as of recently to say that neonicotinoids, a class of systemic insecticide, has really affected honeybee health all over the world at the moment. So, yeah, it's a bit of a problem.
How dramatic has bee loss been in recent years?
Well, we're seeing major losses across Northern America and most of Europe regarding honeybee losses due to what's again pointing in the direction of neonicotinoids. Quite significant. They're calling it colony collapse disorder because they can't really prove what's what. Well, depends who does the research, of course. But what's really shocked me recently is I was up in Darwin a few months ago, and people there are telling me they're having to pollinate their fruit and vegetables by hand. So I spoke to the local DPI officer, Department of Primary Industries officer up there, the bee in the bee industry. She does all the bee inspector, and she told me that she believes it's linked directly to the fact that a lot of the farmers up there are spraying and treating a lot of their crops with neonicotinoids and other insecticides. So yeah, it's a big issue. In China, they have been hand pollinating for 25 years. You got gangs of people climbing trees, cutting pollen off one tree and bringing it down south and hand pollinating with tiny little paintbrushes. I mean, for some reason, I can sort of see the Chinese doing that, but do we really want to go down that road? I'm quite concerned about it, and how long before that then spreads south. Bees are dying off dramatically all around the world, and we're starting to see that here now in Australia, which is really scary for me.
Thank you. Well, you heard it here first, guys, from the beekeeper's mouth. Thank you, Adrian, for spending some time with me today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Just like a blanket